Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you are having a great day. Today's stories include toxic family, problems with stepmother, loss of a parent, wedding drama, entitled people and favoritism between siblings. Let's start. Am I the idiot for refusing to let my sister wear our late mom's necklace on her wedding day? Sister, 22, female, and I, 26, female, lost our mom 20 years ago. Mom had a lot of jewelry and she had it in her will that we would each get specific pieces of it. Dad remarried a year later to Jane. My sister considers Jane her mom and Jane's daughter Nora, 23, female, her sister. Due to her feeling like they were just mom and sister and not step, my sister has given away all the jewelry she got from mom to Jane and Nora. I always refused to let them borrow pieces from me. Jane always rubbed me the wrong way, because she said my mom was not my sister's mom anymore and she was basically a stand-in until her real mom, her/Jane, could come into my sister's life. She said it was disgusting that I would think it a bad thing for my sister to share pretty jewelry with no real meaning with her family. She said I was the one who was rejecting a mom and sister. My sister has nothing left from what mom left her. When she was graduating high school she was upset about not having anything to wear, or so it appeared, and she asked if she could borrow a bracelet mom left me. I was like, sure, just give it back after. But my sister gave it to Jane after and it took months for me to get it back. I told Jane I would escalate the situation if I didn't. Everyone, meaning Dad, my sister, Jane and Nora, thought I was shitty for that. Now the necklace has become an issue. It was mom's favorite piece of jewelry and I have always worn it. I wore it on my wedding day. My sister is aware that it was mom's favorite and she has seen photos of her wearing it. She wanted to borrow it to wear on her wedding day. I was like, no effing way. I told her I had made it clear after the graduation incident that she was never borrowing another piece off me again, and I told her that if she wants something of mom's to wear, she should take back the stuff she gave away. My sister lost it with me and started yelling that I have always held it against her that she didn't hold mom on a pedestal and reject everyone who came into our lives after. She said I had no right to throw that stuff in her face, I didn't, and that she should be allowed to wear something of mom's to her wedding, just like I did when I got married. She broke down and told me I was selfish and awful, and I took pleasure in doing this to her. That I sucked and had ruined her wedding. Am I the idiot? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the a-hole. I refuse to let my sister wear our mom's necklace on her wedding day. It's in my possession and my necklace now, technically. The reason I feel like I could be an a-hole is she is my sister's mom too, and I am denying her the chance to try again now that she's a little older. This could very well mean something to her, and I'm possibly cruel for not trying to find a compromise for her to wear it. OP gives more info in the comments. I don't trust her enough with it, after what she did when I let her borrow the bracelet for her graduation. She broke my trust by doing what she did, and she has always been unapologetic for doing it. She said she wanted our mom's necklace, because both mom and I wore it on our wedding days. I don't know what happened to the jewelry she gave away. I asked about it once and was told it was none of my business. Sister started giving it, the jewels, to them when she was about 10. My dad doesn't care. I don't really speak to him anymore. But I'm sure he's on their side. He was with the bracelet. My mom's family are in the picture, but if they intervened, it would do nothing and could become nasty between everyone. OP also add. They, Jane and Nora, have no right to a single thing I own. They are sentimental mementos of my mom. There is zero reason for them to need anything ever, and yes, they all think I overreacted to the bracelet despite the fact Jane refused to give the thing back to me, which is legally mine and my sister never owned to begin with. Yes, I hate Jane. I think it's disgusting to discount my mom as my sister's mom too. The 2 years mom was there does not make her meaningless. Except to Jane, who couldn't do the right thing, and accept that my sister could have been raised to love two moms. Then OP concludes about her sister. It's not that I have no empathy for her. I think it's disgusting what Dad allowed and what Jane did, by raising her as though mom was nothing to her at any point. I think that was cruel. I think the fact Jane called my mom a stand-in for her shows how shitty she is. I love my sister. But I am very angry at her. She betrayed my trust and did something that hurt and angered me. When I gave her that bracelet, it was because I trusted her, and I wanted her to have something to wear of mom's for her graduation when she said she wanted that. I fully believed I would get it back. I had to fight to get it back and threaten to make it happen. And my sister supported them, as never ever said it was wrong and still doesn't believe it is. When I started reading OP's post, I was ready to tell her she was the idiot. That she was angry with her sister for having a mother and daughter and a sisterly relationship with their stepmother and stepsister. And I thought OP didn't like that. I thought OP was jealous of her sister, or thought she was betraying their late mother. But it soon became very clear that was not the case. Yes, OP doesn't like her stepmother, but it's clear why. The way this family tried everything they could to erase OP's late mom's memory, it's disgusting. It's like OP said, her sister could have had two moms, but they did everything they could to make sure she didn't feel that way. And her stepmother is still surprised that OP doesn't want anything to do with her. Really, lady? Really? Also, what the hell is wrong with her father? Since he has been just fine with all this. Jesus, this family is full of a-holes. Regarding the necklace, after what your sister did at her graduation, you have every reason not to trust her with anything of yours again. Especially with a piece of jewelry from your mom. It is quite possible that if you lend her the necklace, you will have to go and get it at the police station, after they have searched through your stepmother's or stepsister's things, because that's where it will probably be. I'm surprised that your sister doesn't feel ashamed of what she did to you. And still has the nerve to think you're wrong because you don't want to lend her anything from your mom. If having something from your mom was so important, she wouldn't have given everything that she had left of her to stepmonster. So no, OP, you're definitely not the idiot here. But the rest of your family is. And what do you guys think of this situation? Would you have the same reaction as OP? Or would you lend the necklace to sister? Now let's read what the comments say. Not the idiot, it's your jewelry. If your sister valued the thought of wearing/owning something that belonged to your mom, she should have kept her pieces instead of giving them away to someone who had no real meaning towards the jewelry in terms of sentimental value. If she understands the sentimentality of having your mother's jewelry, she should have promptly returned your bracelet, not given your bracelet to your stepsister without asking you. You can't trust her, either her own sense of propriety is warped or your stepmom/sis have some undue influence on her. She can get hers back or deal with it. The biggest a-hole here are stepmom and sis, to manipulate a child who lost their mother to just take somebody else's jewelry passed down from a relative. I hate the term how it's used most of the time, but here gold digger is very much appropriate. Not the idiot. Your sister can ask Jane or Nora. Your necklace isn't just technically ours, but legally, and after the bracelet debacle, you're right not to trust her. You should address this with your father. It's a shame he didn't have your back the first time. Info: why can't your sister borrow the things she gave away to Jane and Nora? Not the idiot. I specifically asked this question because I was curious about your sister's motivation to nag you about your jewelry, also because it appeared that your stepmother set her up to get the necklace and keep it for herself. My advice is that if you don't feel familial ties with your father, sister and step-creatures, go low or no contact. It's pointless to bind yourself in ties that don't exist. Free yourself from the resentment and pain. Not the idiot. So she wants to wear something of mom's to her wedding just like I did when I got married? There's plenty of jewelry she can borrow from her sister and mom. Not the idiot. She had jewelry from your shared mother. It's on her that she gave it away even if she gave it to family. Let her ask her mom and sister for a piece of the jewelry she shared back for her wedding day. Don't give up a piece of your mom, especially since you had such a hard time getting the first piece back. And what do you guys think of these situations? What would you do if you were OP? What other advice would you give her? Don't forget to leave your comments down below. Oh, and are you enjoying the video so far? If so, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. This really helps the channel, so I appreciate it. Now let's go to the next story. Am I the idiot for telling my sister-in-law I'll take her kids to Disney World but not her? So, my husband and I are child-free and more well-off than most of our siblings. We bought a house young, have steady careers, and minimal expenses. We enjoy being child-free, but I am also very fond of my nieces and nephew. 4 nieces and 1 nephew from varying siblings on my husband and I's sides, and have worked to be a part of all their lives. I make special trips for birthdays, help their parents with cleaning, yard work, and cooking as much as I can. My philosophy is, it takes a village and I can be a part of that village. 2 years ago, one of my sister-in-laws on my husband's side lost her father. He lived in Europe and they had a strained relationship, so he never met my niece, who we will call E. So my sister-in-law ended up going to his funeral, but E and brother-in-law didn't go. E was 8 and got out of school a week after her mom left, and brother-in-law was struggling to keep things in order. My husband and I stopped by and cooked dinners, but we had an existing vacation planned, so we offered to take E with us. It was a camping trip, nothing fancy, but she loved it and had a great time, so we let her come with us on several more trips since then. Cut to now, my brother and his wife had kids young, and have always been broke. It's been a hard year for them, and my sister-in-law was talking about how badly they needed a break. My husband, E, and I had planned a trip to Disney World over fall break. So I talked it over with my husband and offered to take their 2 kids with us as well. My sister-in-law got excited, and said she would text my brother to get the time off work as soon as possible. I was confused, and clarified I just meant to take the kids with us, so they had a bit of a break. Sister-in-law ended up getting mad and asking, "What about us? You're just gonna leave us at home to do nothing while you guys have fun? I've never even been to Disney World." I told her I didn't mean it like that, but she's pretty pissed and won't let her kids go if they can't also go. Am I the idiot? OP also gives more info in the comments. Info: if they wanted to pay their own way they'd be welcome to come along? Absolutely, if they wanted to pay for themselves they would be welcome. I think the whole reason that I posted this, and that I do feel kind of like an a-hole, is that technically my husband and I could probably take them too, a little bit of stretching here or there would cover it. But I also feel like the instant I do that, it becomes rude for me not to offer the same to E's parents, then my other siblings and in-laws, and their whole family, and eventually we just become a meal ticket. We already experience it to an extent, it's never left us broke or in a bad spot. But feeling like you're only kept around for your money leaves a bad taste in your mouth. No, OP are not the idiot. Oh my god. The entitlement of some people astonishes me sometimes. OP, you and your husband are trying to do something good for their kids, and consequently for your brother and sister-in-law, but unfortunately she doesn't see this way. She still thinks that what you are doing it's not enough. I understand wanting to go on a trip, needing a break from your day-to-day life, and how frustrating it is when you can't go because of your finances. Trust me, the vast majority of people understand this. Unfortunately, dealing with financial budgets is part of people's lives. This is it, welcome to reality. But the fact that she is denying this trip to her kids, not because she doesn't trust that you and your husband are gonna take good care of them, or because she doesn't think that her children won't behave or go without her and their dad. No, she's refusing to let them go, because she's not going, simple as that, or rather, because you're not paying for her to go. What kind of mother does this? Deprives her children of something good just out of pettiness? Jesus, and what about your brother? What is he saying, OP? Does he have any say at all? But anyway, in the end it's your and your husband's money, OP. You can spend it however and with whoever you want. And screw you, sister-in-law. You are definitely not the idiot, OP. Not the idiot. People are so weird about spending other people's money. No kidding. Here, these parents could have a break from the kids and appreciate that their kids are getting a fun time and being taken on a trip that they as parents couldn't afford. But no, they just get pissy and think that OP ought to pay for them to go, too. Well, good grief, they weren't invited, and it was to alleviate some stress on them, so they could relax a bit. I get that she wanted to go with OP, but damn. She did make her own bed, and OP is, and has, in a variety of ways, trying to make it easier to lie in it. Some people. Not the idiot, if anything, sister-in-law is the idiot. She should be grateful her kids will get to enjoy a fun trip that they couldn't afford to give their kids. The fact she's not letting them go with you shows she's immature and ungrateful. Bad the kids will not get to go. But also keep in mind it's not your responsibility to pay for their trip. Sister-in-law is a massive idiot, and I pity her kids. Not only is she causing the kids to miss out on this trip, she will now most likely attempt to poison them against OP, and they may miss out on a lifetime of joy in knowing their aunt and uncle better. Not the idiot. I would say approach this situation with empathy, not that you aren't, and speak to your brother about this. Let him know that the offer was for his children and he will definitely have a talk with your sister-in-law, his wife. Tough situation, but definitely don't respond until you and your brother have consulted on this issue. Very strange from the sister-in-law. Yeah. Imagine being so jealous of your own kids that you rob them of an amazing experience. Not the idiot. And what do you guys think of all this? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Would you take sister-in-law and brother along or not? And what about the kids? What would you do? Don't forget to leave your comments down below. And that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time.